Mike Huber, Moneyball Hitter Magazine, lead columnist, team hitting specialist. It is a Sunday night, and since it's Sunday, we're going to be talking about the Padres because they need a lot of holy Padres surrounding that whole town to get that baseball team up and going, especially as far as hitting is concerned. So the Padres are the worst hitting team in the major leagues today, and they haven't been any better in the past either. So Petco Park is not known to be a hitter's park. So what they did was they moved the fences in. And when they moved the fences in, I believe it was last year that they did that, they went from a 246 team batting average team to a 226 team batting average team. So we can't really blame it on the park or the fences or whatever. You know, if the fences are farther away, the gaps. There's more green out there in the outfield, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, so we got to figure out this problem here for the San Diego Padres. You know my formula by now, right? You need 4-star hitters and at least 2, 3, 4 chip-in guys, role players, to have a championship hitting ball club. Well, San Diego's not even close. They have no star hitters, and they have one hitter that I would regard as a chip-in hitter, Seth Smith, who hit 266 with 12 homers. All the rest of the guys, I'm not even going to mention their names. All the rest of the guys are 260, 3 home runs, 250, 4 home runs, 240, no home runs. All the rest of the guys are just totally should not be in the major leagues with the numbers that they put up. Okay? And that probably goes for the last 3 years, as a matter of fact. 2010, 2011, they batted 245 as a team, and this year was 226. Unbelievable. So a 20-point dip from 245, is that even possible with professional baseball players? We got to look into this. Now, let me tell you something. You know, this team is so easy to rail on and to put the hammer down on. Since it's Sunday, I'm not gonna go totally nuts on these guys. But let me tell you something. A college team, a good college team, could give this Padres a good run for their money. A good minor league team can beat them maybe in two out of 3 series if you hit like that. Okay? It's unbelievable to me that somebody in the major leagues could hit that badly. Yeah, their only excuse is the park, basically. You know, the park is just not so good. The general manager, Josh Burns, has been fired. The hitting coach, Phil Plantier, he's been with them the last 3 years. So I think he's, you know, the two 245 team batting average years and this 226. So he hasn't been able to help. They have put a lot of energy into hitting coaches. I think they had another assistant hitting coach, and they tried to redo a lot of their minor league farm teachings as far as hitting is concerned. So they know hitting's the problem. They can't find anybody. They don't know how to find somebody. So there's Josh Burns basically looked at guys who played in the major leagues, were minor league coaches, and no interview questions on how they can get hitters to be a better hitter. Phil Plantier, and this is what he says about hitting is there's no magic bullet. There's no magic potion, is what he says. And when you say something like that, that means that you only know so much about hitting, and that you can't get somebody to the next level. Okay. So what these hitting coaches, when they get hired, they get hired because they're ex-pros or something like that. They don't know anything about muscles. They don't know anything about teaching. Okay, maybe running a hitting practice or specialized drill work or testing them out to make sure that they pass certain tests, maybe in batting practice or something like that. Um, they just don't know how to do that. But the general manager figures that they can get them to hit just because maybe they're a popular person like Phil Plantier was, had a good major league career like Phil Plantier did, coached in the minor leagues, put his time in like Phil Plantier did, and it's more than putting in time. You got to put up results wherever you go. Okay, so these hitting coaches, like one of the hitting coaches, I think Magadan or something, Dave Magladden. Okay, he got fired from San Diego, and then he went over to Boston, and that's when they won the World Series. Okay, but he couldn't get the hitters at San Diego any better. All right, so they just try to walk into better situations by their networking systems. All right, and if they're good, they don't screw up the hitters. Seems like the hitters were bad when Plantier came in, and he just kept them bad. And last year they got worse. So maybe he tried to put his hands on them. I don't know. All right. San Diego Padres, last in runs, last in on-base percentage, last in slugging percentage, last in RBIs, fourth worst in franchise history this past year was. Unbelievable. Now, the sad thing about it is the greatest hitter of all time was born in San Diego. There's some good hitting history. And his buddy, Tony Gwynn, also was played in San Diego, obviously. So Ted Williams was the guy that was born in San Diego. All right? And so there's a hitting history there. And at some point, I mean, they haven't been able to hit since Petco Park has been put up in 2004. Do you think that they got Tony Gwynn over there to try to help out the hitters? Sure they did. I'm sure he had many visits over there. Could he get him to hit? No. No, he couldn't. Could he get his own college team to hit? Tony Gwynn. He's been at San Diego State for a long time. He just recently died, you guys know, right? No, that team didn't hit any more special than anybody else. They had maybe 1 or 2 good years. I think it happened at the end of his career. But they were a below average to average hitting team. They got Tony Gwynn, one of the greatest lefty hitters of all time. Okay, last guy to be close to hitting 400. He couldn't get his college team or probably the Padres to hit when he came in for some special work. Listen to this. A couple of big guys who've gotten fired from the Padres. We have talked about, well, Jim Lefevre is one guy. Jim Lefevre, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, was the #1 hitting coach at conventions, talking at conventions. He was the guy. He was the guru. Okay? Be careful of false popes. Is that what they said in the Bible or something like that? You get put on a pedestal, you more than likely don't know what the heck you're talking about. Okay? Wally Joyner was with Detroit, #1 hitting team. Wally Joyner admits that he was learning on the job. Most of these hitting coaches are learning on the job. How could you pay a guy $500,000 or $1 million or a couple $1 million, whatever you pay them, when they're learning on the job? Okay? We're talking Major League Baseball. You got to find guys that know what the heck they're talking about. They're going to get results. They've gotten results wherever. You got to find those types of guys. You're not going to find ex-pros that can do that. You got to be smarter than that. Everybody in the league is doing the same thing, full circle, and nobody gets it. They keep making the same mistakes. All right? Time to wake up, San Diego Padres. Now, when I first became a hitting coach, I played baseball all my life. I played college ball. When I first became a hitting coach, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I pretended like I did. I was good at that. All right? I had command of everything that I did. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know even half as much as I do now. It took me a good 10 years to accomplish results. Okay? And it took deep study, personal involvement on my part. I had to get smarter, basically. I had to be an open book. I had to get rid of my ego and be an open book and learn. Okay? I had to learn how to know when people criticized me if they were telling me the truth or if they were jealous. So I had to discern things. So I learned how to not to take a lot of things personal, and if something came to me, I looked at it very seriously, and then maybe I changed something about my approach until I got it down perfect, where most all the players were happy and getting results. All right? It takes a lot to be a good hitting coach. San Diego Padres, you're just throwing names out there. Just hoping. Wake up. All right. So Jim Lefevre, Wally Joyner, he quit before he got fired. Okay. What else do I got to say? Like we said, Plantier said there's really no magic potion. You don't think there's formulas out there? You're just not looking hard enough, or you're not open to look. Okay? I got a website called qbmagic.com. You know how I got that? Players nicknamed me that. Okay? Because I've got a formula that when it works, it's like magic. Okay? You got to plug. If you don't, you know what? If you don't believe in magical things or human potential or formulas that work, why are you even watching this show? Why are you even a hitting instructor? Okay? Initially, hitting instructors do believe that they can make a difference. And when their methods don't work, then they go to the excuses. There's no magic formula out there. My players just don't want to, they don't got it. They don't have any guts or anything like that. You start making up excuses. When you start to do that, it's a problem. It's a problem. All right? Now, what do we have to do to change the San Diego Padres? This would take an overhaul, because whatever's being taught in San Diego is being taught obviously in the minor leagues. These guys are coming up with from the minor leagues, and they're failing in the major leagues. And they're just trying and 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 trying. And the methods and the formulas aren't working. Any Major League Baseball team has the goods, has the athletic guys that can do it, has the talent. It's all there. You just got to get them to hit. Okay? You just got to get them to hit. And I don't know why it's so hard, but it's all there. So 226. Speaking of magic, the Moneyball training formula that we do is we look at numbers. Okay, coach, you're at 226. We think our goal would get you to 270 within 1 year. We see the problems in your batting practices and what's happening with your games. You're too linear to the ball. You've got some minor problems that are very fixable. Some of your players just leak out too much. leak forward on their front foot. They spin their back foot a little bit. They're too tight with their hands. We got to get them to relax, and then we put them through the formula. We average 50 points. This would be an easy one, okay? Which would put them, let's say we didn't get them to 270. Let's say we got them to 260. That would put them like in the top 10 in hitting right there. You need a specialist for this sort of stuff. You're going to keep guessing and throwing poker chips out there on guys that you think that are going to help out the hitters. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. All right? Let's see, is there anything else that I need to say here? I don't think so. I'm sorry I can't name any names with San Diego as far as anybody else. They're not worth it. They're not going to be there next year. Okay? And it's been 3 years of trying to develop players, and they haven't been able to develop any, okay, of really bad hitting. So those players' confidence are going to be so far down that you will need a magician to pick them up, okay? And your team is so bad, what free agent's going to want to go to your team? So you're going to have to redo all your minor leagues, get a Moneyball hitting formula in there if you can, okay? Or at least, please upgrade whatever you got going, because it's the teaching. And start from there, okay? Start from there. But San Diego, you're salvageable only if we got our hands on you. Any other way, you're a long ways away as far as I'm concerned. I don't care what type of general manager or whatnot, you know, general managers can't see teaching problems. They see talent problems. The talent's there. It's in your minor leagues. They got to be developed. Okay? And they can. Because they can hit college pitching. They can hit minor league pitching. All right? When their swings get screwed up, they go up to the major leagues, it's usually pretty bad. 226. It's almost unbelievable, yeah, but I can believe it. Okay? It's inexcusable. Inexcusable. All these hitting instructors that's gone through the system, and you guys still don't get it. I know you know the Moneyball formula. Everybody knows it. I know you want to plug into that. You need a Moneyball training formula, San Diego. Wake up. That's it for today. San Diego Padres, worst hitting team in the major leagues. If something spectacular happens, like they get up to 250 or next year or something like that, I'll look into it and find out if they did anything different. Okay? All right, Mike Huber, over and out. See you next time.